it's obviously a very severe impact, as you say. It doesn't look as if, I mean, you have two possibilities here. Either the aircraft was completely out of control for whatever reason, or the aircraft flew unexpectedly into the ground in what's called a CFIT accident, a controlled flight into terrain accident, and it was going at some considerable speed and crashed in that way. But really, I would say at the moment that the actual circumstances are pretty much completely unknown. I think right now it's quite a mystery why this should happen in this phase of the flight.
We understand that the crash took place, and again, this is where it is that some 90 miles northwest of the capital of Tehran. It was headed to nearby Armenia in Yerevan, and when you look at the map, it doesn't look like it was a long-haul flight. So one could surmise that it was shortly after takeoff that the plane may have experienced problems.
Well, it's clearly relatively soon after takeoff. It doesn't. It's not an accident which actually occurred literally on departure from the runway. Now, typically the vast majority of accidents was well documented occur either on departure or more usually on the approach at the end of the flight. So the circumstances are quite strange. But having said that, it's whatever difficulty it was clearly did emerge relatively soon in the flight. But as I say again, we just at this stage we really just don't know what happened. In
other plane crashes, when we look at the footage, you do see big parts of the plane. This one looks like it's completely shattered. When we look at this footage, there you see pieces of the plane everywhere. I hate to put you on the spot, sir, but when you look at the kind of impact that this plane made on the ground, what could possibly have caused something like this?
Well, I agree with you that the damage to this is clearly pretty immense, unless there is any part of the wreckage which we're not seeing, and I would stress that is a possibility, because if there is one large piece of wreckage somewhere and then a lot of smaller debris around, it's possible that the pictures that we're seeing from Iran aren't telling us the true visual story, if you like. But it does look as if the damage is absolutely catastrophic and really immense, and that obviously is consistent with some sort of very high-speed impact.
We understand that this was a Tupolev plane. What do you know about them?
Well, the Tupolev 154, which is the type of aircraft here, it's quite an old design, and some of the aircraft, although not all of them, I don't know about this particular one, are relatively elderly. They go back into the 1970s. Now, the particular version that we understand Caspian Airlines flies is not quite as old as that. It's more really a late 80s, 90s design. And over the years, there have been quite a lot of them lost. Now, having said that, there are many of them built, and they have been in service in quite difficult parts of the world for a very, very long time. But there have been a lot of these Tupolev 154s lost over the years. In fact, a couple in Iran and in the Caucasus generally. So it's a sort of a workhorse of the old Soviet aviation system. It looks like and is of the same era as the Boeing 727, which is now pretty much out of airline service in the West. So it's that kind of aeroplane that we're talking about.